quiet down for a second.
Before Soma. Ryan Hayes. Yeah.
And what part of
I play bass. Yeah, most important fundamental instrument in an entire band. Anyway, so our band started out being called, what do we start out being called?
Hot Metal and Sharp Objects.
Hot Metal and Sharp Objects, because we didn't really, it was just pretty cool. Hot Metal and Sharp Objects. Still, it might come back. You might see that on a track or something. And then we changed it to the Sharp Objects, which is still my personal favorite. And then we changed it to the Sharps, which Walter hated. And then the Sharp Objects again. And then one night, we all decided to go to my house, just sit in my room, stayed up pretty late. And we did the thing that you should never do when you're trying to name a band, is we Googled good ideas for band names. And one of the things that came up was like book titles. Or me and Jake had had the idea for old books that had a lot of meaning, like book titles for a band name. And we weren't really getting anywhere. And then I remembered a summer reading book that I read called Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. And it's one of my favorite books. I actually liked it. And in this book, it's written what it would be like in the future. What culture would be like in the future. And in this book, there is this drug called Soma that is given out to basically all the people in the world kind of. And this drug basically just controls people based off of pleasure. It makes this a mind-numbing pleasure that you just keep going back to this drug and it makes you happy and basically you don't care what's going on. It's just all about how you can get more of this drug and just stay high all the time. And so in the book there's this character that refuses to take the drug and basically is able to unlock his mind and really be who he actually is. And so the way that we see it is music today is the drug Soma. A lot of it people don't care what they're listening to. People don't care about the words that's being put in their head. They don't care about the meaning, the message behind the music. And a lot of people don't care what it sounds like as long as it has a good beat. They'll bump it in their car with their windows down and not give a crap. So basically what we're trying to do is get back to that, what it was before music was controlled by the cultural standards of today. What Bentley was saying, get back to that classic rock, where it was just good solid music with a good meaning and message, and get back to the roots of rock. That's what we're trying to do. So before Soma, before music got to that cultural numbness. It's pretty dope.
When I wake up, I turn around and wonder why I don't see your face. But then I open my mind and remember how you told me that you needed space.
Well, when I was about 8 years old, I was sitting in my dad's car and he played me some classic rock. I think it was The Who, Baba O'Reilly, and I at that moment I just connected to it. And I would I got an iPod Nano and we had a bunch of classic rock all on that, and so everybody else was listening to Lady Gaga or whatever, and there was a point in my life for 3 years that I listened to Styx, Rush, The Who, Led Zeppelin, the Eagles, and I thought that music came out in the 2000s. I legitimately thought that it came out in the 2000s. I was like, man, this is so good. I thought that's what pop music was. And it's when I was listening to that stuff, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a front man for, a rock and roll band. But then, I came to grips that rock and roll wasn't, it's not the same as it used to be. I figured out that all that music came out 40 years ago and only old farts like it and me. So, yeah, but our goal is to bring rock and roll back. That's my goal.
I mean, Jake, how many songs do you think we have? All the blues
Like
are rap.
5 or 6 probably.
Yeah, we probably have 6 songs, and I mean we've been banned for 2 months, and we have like that many songs. So we just have like a lot of times when we get together with a band, we just have a connection and we're able to play and sing together awesome. And so that's just kind of what happened with this band. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to get gigs and stuff. We're trying to call bar owners and places like that to try and get gigs and try and get booked, maybe get paid. But you got to pay your dues first when you go into the business.
Come with me because you look so fine and I really want to make it mine. So fine and I really want to make it mine. 5, 6, come on and get your kicks. Now you don't need a money with a face like that, do you, honey?